everyone in cyber world, welcome back to another video. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Richard. This is our channel we call Poor Man's DIY.
This week we're introducing our video from Haleiwa Beach Park.
Well, as you are all probably aware, COVID has affected everybody in the world. But we have to make do with what we have. I think it's a good idea that the leadership has decided that everybody should stay at home and prevent this spread from minimizing the spread. So I've seen some people who've done some creative things in families to keep busy. I touched my face again. They keep themselves busy by doing puzzles and so forth. And it dawned on me, there's something I have been wanting to do. I've purchased some things quite some time ago, piece by piece, and I realized I've never actually worked on them. So here's what I have. Okay, these are called 3D models, metal models. I purchased these in Japan every time we go and visit, and they end up in a drawer hiding someplace. And recently, doing some cleanup on some things, I came across these one after another in different drawers, and I found lots that I can actually work on. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what a 3D model is, a 3D metal model is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to go ahead and show you one of the easier ones here. Okay, this is a model of Tokyo Tower. Okay, as you can see, it's paper thin. So how is a paper thin piece of paper going to turn into Tokyo Tower? So let's go ahead and open her up. So this is a metal 3D model. It's very, very thin. It's printed out. It's flat, really lightweight, and the metal it's more of an aluminum, I believe, but it's very flimsy. So how do we turn this into Tokyo Tower? Well, just like any other model, you're going to clip out these individual pieces and assemble them. However, there's a little bit of a catch to it. We have some special metal model making tools. Although this looks like a standard pair of pliers, in reality, these are a little bit different. If I can zoom in on this, let's see if it works. You'll see that there are no grooves or anything to grip on it. It does grip, but the main property for this is to just squeeze something and flatten it out. Okay. We have some items that are used for cutting the metal pieces, and this too has no actual teeth to grip onto things like the other one, but it also helps to grab onto some of these parts, but it's also used to shape things. So all of these tools can be used to bend and shape them. So these models, although this one, Tokyo Tower, there probably isn't going to be a lot to bend. Some of these other ones are round. They end up in like a sphere. And so what it means is you have to bend these things little by little, and you shape the metal. So it's not just a matter of cutting them out and putting slot A into slot B and then and glue it or whatever, and it's done. It does require some slot A to slot B. There are it's going to be kind of hard to see, but you might be able to see there's tabs in between theirs. And so those tabs are actually used like other models where they're inserted into another slot. And instead of glue though, you actually use one of these tools to bend it, and that holds it into place. So anyhow, let me show you what we've got. Okay, I've shown you Tokyo Tower, and here's what else we have. Let's see. This one here, although it doesn't say on the front of it, on the back, this one is Hope you can see that one. It's the Millennial Falcon. Okay, so this one here also is going to be a little more complex. There's, I think, only 2 sheets. There might be more, but again, this is flat. However, you're going to be bending and folding and rounding, and in the end, this will become the Millennial Falcon. And next one we have here, it's not really the car. This one here is another Star Wars fighter. Next we have, this one's going to be fun. For those who've ever been to Japan, this is called the Kinkakuji, also known as the Golden Pavilion. This is a picture of the real pavilion, and this is what this 3D model will make. I'm scared to open this one because I have a feeling there's quite a few pages on this one here, quite a few sheets. And this one is going to be, I suspect, one of the tougher ones that I've ever made, but it looked like a lot of fun. And this does have 4 sheets of metal in it. And this is a Japanese samurai armor. So, I think for this particular video, because I haven't built one in about a year, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the easiest one for today, and that's our favorite in Tokyo. It's Tokyo Tower. Let's take a look at how we're going to do this.
Well, let's start by cutting out the pieces. The front of the pieces have some texture and design, while the back is just smooth. This is a close-up of what the tabs look like. And here's what the slot looks like. I attached the 2 flat pieces together just to make a point to show that you are going to have to shape pieces in order for it to fit properly. So for this piece, we're going to have to curve it in order for the 2 pieces to fit together. After inserting a tab into the slot, you have to bend the tab to hold the pieces together. Hopefully now you'll see the idea of how this works. And now to quickly repeat the steps on all sides.
The reason I kind of stopped this video is because I forgot a very important piece of equipment for our arsenal when making something like this. Now, a lot of you probably don't need this. However, for someone like me, this is the most valuable thing you can use for making models such as this, and that is a magnifying glass. So by using this, things appear so much larger and makes it much easier to see those tabs that you're inserting, because they are really, really tiny. So I'm going to go ahead and use this while I continue on. Let's get back to the build.
This is just to show you how you need to align the tabs and the slots perfectly in order to connect some pieces. There are two basic methods to bend the tabs. One, you simply bend it over and flatten it out. The second option is to twist it, and that keeps it from falling back through the slot.
Take a look at these cutters. Okay. You see that the back side is flat. This side is flat, and this side is kind of the blade. So when you're cutting these tabs, which are these tiny triangle points, hopefully you can see that right in the tip there. Looks like a tiny triangle. If you cut the flat side on the bottom, part of that triangle will remain on the model. So you need to make sure that you use the flat side against the tip to leave very little of this, if none, little or none of this tab on the model part itself. Just a tip. Now this is some important part of it, okay? You have to be very careful with this metal. It's very flimsy, and any of you that have worked with metal before, you know that if you bend it one way, or if you bend it too hard, too fast, or if you have to straighten it out, it will snap, or I should say, it can snap. These models are very much like that. You have to be very, very careful when bending this thing, and make sure you check twice before you actually do the bending.
This is how we put a 90-degree bend into the metal. Notice we have to do it slowly so you don't break the piece. And now another example of attaching two pieces together. Now I'm starting to see how this is going to turn into Tokyo Tower. Here's the benefit of using a magnifying glass. This piece is going to be a real challenge. First, you have to bend this ever so gently or it will snap. And then you have to shape the rest of it into a ring. My intent is not to show you exactly how this model is made step by step, but just give you an idea of the basic types of folds, clamps, and molding that you have to do when building one of these fun models. I like making these type boxes because they're so easy to do compared to the rest of it. I'm a little confused. I have no idea what part of the tower I'm making here. It was around this point that I finally realized that what I was building was the elevator for the inside of the tower. And here are the final tabs and the final slots.
And there you have it. This was actually pretty easy. compared to some of the others. It came up pretty nice.
We hope we managed to bring a little entertainment to your life, even though you're probably at home, locked up, and going a little stir-crazy. Next week is going to be a fun project Mrs. Poorman is going to take care of as a DIY project. So until then, bye-bye!